Tina Clayton just changed women's sprinting forever. And now the entire athletics world is asking one explosive question. Did Jamaica just find the next Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce? Or is everyone getting carried away way too soon? Because what this 21-year-old just did wasn't supposed to happen. Not after missing the Olympics. Not after watching her own twin sister make the biggest team in the world without her. And definitely not after spending years living in the shadow of one of the greatest sprinters in history. Yet somehow, Tina Clayton has gone from heartbreak to helping break a world record twice in less than 24 hours. Think about that. Some athletes spend an entire career chasing one world record. Tina Clayton helped smash the same world record, then came back the very next day and broke it again. That's why this story has become so controversial. Some fans already believe she's the future face of Jamaican sprinting. Others say she's still living off relay success and hasn't proven herself individually. But one thing nobody can argue with, the stopwatch doesn't lie. Before the world knew her name, Tina Clayton was just a young girl growing up in rural Jamaica alongside her identical twin sister, Tia. A local coach spotted something extraordinary before they had even turned 9 years old. That single decision changed everything. The family left home so both sisters could train at the legendary Edwin Allen High School. Almost immediately, the records started falling. Tina became a two-time World Under-20 champion. She helped Jamaica set junior relay world records twice. Everything pointed toward Olympic greatness. Then, everything went wrong. At the 2024 Jamaican Olympic trials, injuries struck at exactly the wrong moment. Tina failed to qualify. Meanwhile, her twin sister Tia made the Olympic team and reached the final in Paris. Imagine watching your own sister live the dream you had spent your entire childhood chasing. For many athletes, that would have broken them. Instead, it became fuel. 1 year later, Tina came back stronger than ever. She won her first senior Jamaican title, then arrived at the World Championships. There, she shocked everyone, winning silver in the 100 meters. Finishing ahead of sprint legends including Sha'Carri Richardson and even Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in the final individual race of Fraser-Pryce's incredible career. Then came one unforgettable relay. Fraser-Pryce handed the baton to Tia. Tia handed it to Tina. 3 generations of Jamaican sprinting connected in one final race. Afterward, Fraser-Pryce publicly said she believed Tina Clayton represented Jamaica's future. At the time, many thought it was simply a beautiful farewell message. Then Botswana happened. At the World Athletics Relays, Jamaica lined up in the mixed 4x100 relay. Tina Clayton ran one of the crucial legs. The clock stopped at 39.99 seconds. A new world record. History made, but they weren't finished. Less than 24 hours later, the exact same team returned. This time, they ran even faster, 39.62 seconds. Another world record. The one they had just created was already gone. Suddenly, the athlete who couldn't even make Jamaica's Olympic team just 2 years earlier had become a world record holder twice. And here's the scary part. She's only 21 years old. Most elite sprinters don't reach their absolute peak until their mid-20s, which means the fastest version of Tina Clayton may not even exist yet. Of course, questions still remain. Can she become an individual world champion? Can she finally win Olympic gold? Can she step completely out of her sister's shadow and into Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce's? Nobody knows. But one thing has become impossible to ignore. Tina Clayton is no longer just another talented Jamaican sprinter. She's becoming one of the most dangerous women in world athletics. And if her rise continues, the rest of the sprint world should be very worried. Because what started in a small rural community in Jamaica could end with one of the greatest sprint careers the sport has ever seen. Keely Hodgkinson just changed everything with this race. For months, athletics fans have been hearing the same thing. Keely Hodgkinson is coming for the world record. The Olympic champion. The indoor world champion. The woman who smashed the indoor world record. The athlete many believe is about to end a 43-year-old mark that has survived generations. But after what happened in Stockholm, some people are asking a very different question. What if Keely Hodgkinson isn't the favorite anymore? Because on June 7th, something happened that nobody saw coming. A 22-year-old Swiss athlete named Audrey Werro didn't just beat Keely Hodgkinson. She may have completely changed the future of women's 800-meter running. And here's what makes it shocking. Before Stockholm, Hodgkinson had beaten Warrow 8 consecutive times. 8. Every race, every meeting, every showdown. The gap wasn't even close. Just 3 months earlier at the World Indoor Championships, Hodgkinson beat Warrow by more than a second. At this level, that's a huge margin. So when they lined up in Stockholm, nobody expected a different result. The race was built around one target: 1 minute, 54 seconds, world record territory. The pace was perfect. The pacemakers did their job. At 400 meters, they crossed in 55.54 seconds, exactly where they needed to be. Then Hodgkinson made her move. She took the lead. She hit the lights. She looked strong. She looked comfortable. She looked like a future world record holder. But there was one problem. Audrey Warrow refused to disappear. Lap after lap, stride after stride, she stayed attached to Hodgkinson. Waiting, watching, believing. With 300 meters remaining, Hodgkinson surged again. Most athletes would have cracked. Most athletes would have faded. Warrow did the opposite. She accelerated, and with less than 40 meters remaining, the impossible started happening. The Swiss star began hunting down the Olympic champion. The crowd could see it. The commentators could see it. Hodgkinson could feel it. Then Warrow pulled alongside and blew straight past. The clock stopped at 1 minute, 53.98 seconds. Third fastest time in history. The first woman in 43 years to break 1:54 outdoors. A Diamond League record. And one of the greatest breakthroughs the sport has ever seen. But here's the crazy part. Keely Hodgkinson also ran one of the fastest races ever. Her 1:54.33 was a British record, and the 6th fastest performance in history. She ran faster than almost every woman who has ever lived, and she still lost. That's how unbelievable this race was. Now everything has changed. Because for months, the conversation was simple. Can Keely Hodgkinson break the world record? Now there's a new question. Can she even beat Audrey Warrow? The Swiss star improved her personal best by nearly 2 full seconds. Something almost unheard of at the elite level. And suddenly the athlete nobody was talking about is standing just fractions away from the oldest world record in athletics. Keely says she still plans to attack the world record in London. She says her target remains 1:53.28. But after Stockholm, one thing is clear. This is no longer Keely Hodgkinson versus history. This is Keely Hodgkinson versus Audrey Warrow, and women's athletics may never be the same again.